Tonight we've gathered together for a story. In the world of Greybobby, this faithful puppy and his sister Betty the bookworm venture out once more to learn all they can about the God who made them. Let's settle in for another bedtime devotional with Pastor Zach.
It was the evening before the science fair, and all across the city, the lights were not winking out. Instead, kids from all over school were putting the finishing touches on their science projects. Joy was typing at a furious speed the last bit of data for her paper on growing bigger carrots.
And in conclusion, the sandy loam soil grew bigger and better carrots than the clay soil. Yes, that's it. Finally done.
Betty was just a little bit behind Joy. She was in the middle of her leaf color project.
Maple leaves change color in the fall when the temperature gets cooler. Usually around 32 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit at night.
Meanwhile, Greybobby was outside testing his chemical reaction rocket with his Uncle Greybilly.
Get ready for launch. In 3, 2, 1, blast off! Yeah!
That's definitely a winner there, lad. Over at Barbara's, there wasn't much work going on at all.
Okay, here you go. $10. But I thought you said it was going to be $20, Barbara. Shh! Keep it down. Do you want the whole neighborhood to hear that I'm buying a science project? You said $20. And anyway, I don't even know if this is right. You told me we were going to work on the project together.
Yeah, and I'm paying you because I didn't help.
But
Fine, here's $20, but I'm taking your name off the project. Now, what is this thing anyway?
it's a potato clock. I worked really hard on it.
Whatever. I just need to get a passing grade. Thanks, Brushy. Now, hasta la bye-bye.
Bad form, Barbara. Bad form. Across town at Red's place, he was putting the finishing touches on a rather large robot arm.
All right, just a few screws here. Connect this wire there, and ha-ha! That should do it.
Why would anyone need a large robot arm?
What do you mean? Robot arms are used in all kinds of things. They move stuff that people aren't able to. They're used to build cars. Sometimes they're even used in amusement parks.
Can it make a sandwich?
No, it's not that sophisticated.
Then I'm already bored by it.
Yeah. Well, what's your project then?
Oh, I don't know. I have this glass of old orange juice in my room that's really moldy now. I think I'll just turn that in.
Oh, do you know what kind of mold it's growing?
No. Pfft. Why is that important?
Because it's a science project. You can't just turn in that mold without explaining something about it.
Oh, okay. I will write something about mold being gross. Here, let me see that piece of paper. Mold is gross. There, I am finished.
Oh yeah, that'll work for sure, Bart.
When the next morning came, a lot of tired students shuffled into the gym to turn in their science projects. It was a bit chaotic, but Miss Unau attempted to get some order to the projects being turned in. She fired up her megaphone and gave the students some instructions.
Okay, students. Tables have been labeled with your names to make your project turn-in easier. Just place them there, and we will grade them and return to you a card with your name and a dot. A green dot means you passed. A yellow dot means you need to speak to a teacher. A red dot means your work is unacceptable and you will need to see the principal after school. Everyone with a gold dot means excellent work and you will get to present your work to the whole school.
It looks like our tables are right next to each other. It is just big enough for my glass of moldy orange juice and my paper that says, mold is gross.
Bart, are you sure you want to turn that in? I mean, red dots mean you have to see Principal Hipple after school.
You are assuming I will get a red dot. Mold is fascinating. Gross, but fascinating. I will get a gold star for sure.
Yeah, right.
Ew! Get your moldy grossness away from my potatoes!
See? Barbara got the concept right away. Mold is gross.
Ooh, what you got there, Barbara?
Can't you see? It's a potato clock.
Oh, that looks pretty cool. What's it do exactly?
I don't have to explain anything to a grody little wolf like you.
Whoa, chill, Yakety. I was just asking you about your project. You don't have to bite my head off.
Well, then learn to mind your own beeswax.
Beeswax? I think all of us doing a project about beeswax.
No, Bart. It's just a cooler way of saying business. Like, mind your own business, mind your own beeswax. Get it?
Who exactly says it's cooler, Yakety?
Well, if you just, leave me alone.
Barbara put her, actually Brushy's, potato clock on the table and stormed off.
Have you ever noticed that Barbara makes little clippity-cloppities with her hooves when she storms away?
I think I'm gonna have to get some caffeine in me if I'm gonna listen to this. I'll be right back.
While Red went in search of a soda, the judges began to make their way down Bart's row. He saw them at Brushy's table.
Brushy, I'm very disappointed in you. An empty table. No project. I'm afraid you will have to meet me after school, as you did not perform the labor of creating a science project. You will have to perform the hard labor of resurfacing the school roof.
But let me explain, please, please, please.
I don't want to hear it. It is a red dot for you.
Bart gulped. He looked at his project, which bubbled disgustingly, and at that moment, he knew in his heart it would receive a red dot. He looked over at Red's robotic arm, and then back at his own project. And in a moment, he had made his decision. He switched the names on the projects.
Let's see here. What do we have next? A robotic arm and moldy orange juice.
When Red returned from getting his soda, the judging was all but finished. He found Miss Unau near the gym door, handing out the cards with the dots.
Let's see, Joy. Green dot.
Yay!
Betty. Green dot.
Yes!
Red.
Come on, it's gotta be a gold dot.
Red.
Yes?
I just told you.
Told me what?
Your color of dot. Red.
Wait, am I missing something?
Red, you have received a red dot. I'm afraid you must see Principal Hipple after school.
How is that possible?
Now, for the 3 gold dots of the day. First is Greybobby for his rocket.
Oh, wow. I can't believe I got a gold dot.
Barbara for her potato clock.
Oh, yeah. Who's the queen of science now? But, nay, Brushy, you have been paid for your services.
And finally, Bart for his robotic arm.
What? Robotic arm?
Thank you. It was a lot of work, but I don't mind the heavy lifting.
You stole my project.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, you tell him or I will.
But then you'd have to prove it. And the grades have already been given, and the awards about to be handed out.
You're gonna pay for this, Bart. Vengeance will be mine.
Red stormed out of the gym, and just for the record, unlike Barbara, he didn't make any clip-clop noises, but he did go behind the school and found a very special hiding place.
Bart's out of control. If he thinks I'm gonna let him steal my science project without consequences, he's got another thing coming.
He removed a panel from the side of the school, and from a secret alcove, he took out a bag that said, Wonder Wolves.
Hello, old friends. My old and very literal bag of tricks. I can't say that I haven't missed you, but, I'm being a good kid this year. Now, what would be a fitting punishment for Bart? Rubber chicken. No, that won't do the job. Bart just laughs at rubber chickens. Marshmallow cannon? That's too soft. Let's see. Water balloon. Now, that's not bad enough for what he did. My slingshot. Yeah, that'll do it. All I gotta do is take a pebble and shoot it right at his snout.
What about letting the Lord fight your battles instead?
Whoa, hey, Uncle Greybilly. How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to know that you're on your way to making some bad decisions.
But Uncle Greybilly, he stole my project.
Aye, and you should do your best to make sure the teachers know that.
But he's just gonna lie. And Bart's so good at lying, I'm afraid he's not gonna get caught.
And you think that you are better at delivering justice than God?
I didn't say that, but sometimes people get away with things, Uncle Greybilly.
Proverbs 20:22 says, "Do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for the Lord, and he will deliver you."
Wait for the Lord? How long are we talking here?
I don't know, Red. But I do know that God's justice is better than ours. Sure, turn him into the teachers, but don't stoop to this level of thinking you should punish him. God might just have a plan for him that is different than yours.
Like what? Con artist for heaven?
The Bible tells us that there was a man named Saul, and he took it upon himself to throw people into jail because they believed in Jesus. He hunted them until one day the Lord stopped him in his tracks.
Ooh, did he blast him with lightning?
No, he blinded him.
Well, that serves him right.
Aye, it serves us all right, actually. None of us deserves grace. That's why it's called grace. It's a gift. No, God's plan for Saul was to give him back his sight and call him to be one of the Lord's greatest missionaries. He changed the world for Jesus.
No way, the bad guy did that?
Weren't you once the bad guy?
Oh, yeah, I guess I was.
You see, Red, you never know what God's going to do with someone. That's why we leave it in his hands. You never know if he's going to show them justice or change their heart.
Or their hearts could just be hardened.
Aye, but that's what we have to leave in the Lord's hands. Now come on, let's go back to the gold dot presentation. I have a feeling that Greybobby's going to win with that rocket. Back at the science fair, Greybobby, Barbara, and Bart stood to present their projects to the whole school for final judging. Red and Uncle Greybilly arrived at the gym just in time to see Greybobby's rocket soaring overhead.
Stupendous! Fine work, Greybobby.
Thank you.
Now, Barbara, please explain your potato clock to the school.
Well, so you see, they're like two potatoes, right? And, obviously there's like a clock in the middle, so that tells you when the potatoes have expired. That's right, I remember now. When the potatoes have expired, it's a grody little spud countdown.
That is not what it does.
Excuse me?
Brushy.
It uses the chemical reaction between the potatoes and the metal to make the clock run. Didn't you read the paper I wrote, Barbara?
You wrote? Is this true, Barbara? Did you steal Brushy's project?
No, I bought it fair and square.
Both of you see Principal Hipple after the fair.
Stealing projects? What a horrible thing.
Okay, let's try to move along here. Bart, could you demonstrate your robotic arm, please?
Absolutely. You see, you push this button here.
Suddenly, the robot arm grabbed Bart and whirled him around in the air.
Someone get me down!
How do you stop it? Which button?
I don't know!
And why is that, Bart?
Because I stole the project from Red.
Red pressed a button, and the robot arm dropped Bart onto the ground.
I cannot believe this. 2 out of 3 students stole their projects from others. There will be serious consequences for this, Bart and Barbara. You will take Brushy's place on the roof.
Principal Hipple, remember what the school board said about child labor?
Very well. Bart and Barbara, you will do whatever menial chores the cafeteria staff has for you.
What did I tell you, lad? Vengeance belongs to the Lord. Sometimes he acts quickly, sometimes long, and other times he changes hearts. But we need to leave it in his hands.
Definitely.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Greybobby was awarded first place. Red and Brushy were given second and third place, respectively. Bart and Barbara, however, they had to peel potatoes for the lunch lady. And by the time they were done, they would have appreciated mechanical arms to do the work. What did we learn? We learn that it's really tempting to want to get back or get revenge on someone. But that isn't our right. We can tell the proper authorities, of course, but we need to leave the situation in God's hands. It's His choice what to do with them, whether to bring them consequences or show them grace that leads to a changed heart. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, help us to trust You to fight our battles and give us the ability to pray for those who oppose us so that, like Saul, they might one day see their own hearts change. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Now let's quiet our minds and our hearts with a good night song.
All across the city, the lights are winking out. All across the night sky, the stars are twinkling now. The Lord who reigns from heaven above does not slumber, nor does He sleep. Because of His unfailing love, a faithful watch He will keep. All across the city, the lights are winking out. All across the night sky, the stars are twinkling now.
Now hear the Lord's blessing over you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you His peace. Amen.
Hey, Mom and Dad. If you want each week's new devotional automatically sent to your podcast downloads, be sure to subscribe. See you next week.
Well, I guess there's no reason to take home the moldy orange juice. Good riddance.
Guys, what's happening to Bart's mold project? Oh no!
Where am I? Who am I?
You can talk? You're a mold project from a science fair that's grown giant.
Mold?
That's right. You, mold. Me, brushy.
Brushy. Friend.
Aw, you're actually nice. Would you like a candy bar or maybe some generically branded peanut butter candy bits? I think I'm gonna call you Moldy.
Moldy.
Do you want to come home and meet my family?
Moldy. Go home.
Great! We got a lot of cool games that we can play together, and you're really tall, and I'm not as tall as you, so maybe you can help me fly my kite, you can push me on a swing in the backyard, we could go take a ride on my bike, you could see if you could sit in